George Russell has recently backtracked on his earlier confidence that 2026 would mark his fifth season racing for Mercedes, now acknowledging that the future is far from certain. Despite being a part of the Mercedes team since 2017, thanks to the famous PowerPoint pitch he presented to Toto Wolff, Russell's long-term position within the team has suddenly become clouded with uncertainty. What's behind this shift in confidence? Stick around to find out. Russell's current contract is set to expire at the end of the 2025 Formula One season, and the rumor mill is already buzzing with speculation. Whispers are circulating that Max Verstappen could be poised to take over his seat. Paddock chatter suggests that Verstappen has a performance clause in his contract that could allow him to leave Red Bull if he falls outside the top three in the championship standings during a key part of the season. Having missed out on signing Verstappen once before, F1 pundit Martin Brundle believes Toto Wolff wouldn't hesitate to sign the Dutchman if the opportunity arises again. In an interview with Sky F1, Brundle remarked, "If Max Verstappen became available, I would be quite concerned for George, because Andrea Kimi Antonelli is obviously their man for the future." He continued, "George is doing a great job as team leader, but Toto missed Max once. I don't think he'll miss him again if he gets the chance." However, it's important to note that these are all hypothetical scenarios. Wolff has repeatedly assured that he won't blindside his drivers, George Russell and the emerging talent Kimi Antonelli. In fact, when discussing Russell's future, Wolff hinted that the contract renewal process would be more about formalizing an agreement than negotiating terms. Speaking to the media in Monaco, Wolff made it clear, "George and I are totally aligned on how this is going to go. There's no dragging it out because that's not how we do things." Yet weeks have passed without official word from Mercedes, and the rumors continue to swirl. Just last week, Aston Martin emerged as the latest team linked with a potential move for Russell. But it was Russell himself who might have inadvertently given a hint about his future when he said, "This is now my fourth year at Mercedes. Next year will be my fifth." When pressed by an interviewer to confirm if this meant a done deal, Russell replied, "No, it's not certain. Nothing is certain, but if I stay with Mercedes, next year will be my fifth year with the team. Nobody knows when their time will come. You just have to keep performing, keep delivering, and what happens? Only time will tell." The speculation surrounding Russell's future in 2026 has only intensified as the silence from Mercedes continues. The longer the team remains tight-lipped, the more teams appear to be circling, and the rumor mill keeps churning at full speed. Russell remains optimistic about continuing with Mercedes, the team that gave him his big break and has helped manage his career. Still, he hasn't hesitated to make a few strategic paddock appearances, perhaps testing the waters for what lies ahead. At the Australian season opener, he was spotted chatting with McLaren bosses Zak Brown and Andrea Stella. In China, he was seen exchanging pleasantries with Alpine advisor Flavio Briatore, and earlier in April, whispers suggested he had even engaged in exploratory talks with Red Bull in case a seat became available. Now, the Times has added another contender to the mix, Aston Martin. The Silverstone-based team is reportedly one of the outfits that has shown interest in acquiring Russell's services. This wouldn't be surprising, as Aston Martin is undergoing a significant transformation, recently unveiling state-of-the-art new facilities and securing the high-profile hiring of design guru Adrian Newey to lead their 2026 campaign under the new regulations. A subtle clue about Russell's future might have slipped under the radar during the Monaco Grand Prix weekend. While speaking with the Sky Sports F1 team, Mercedes Chief Communications Officer, Bradley Lord, found himself cornered by a question on Russell's contract. Martin Brundle, ever the sharp-eyed pundit, suggested that if Mercedes had not yet re-signed Russell, it could be because they are waiting on someone else, none other than Max Verstappen. With the Red Bull star loosely linked to a potential switch to Mercedes, Brundle floated the idea that the Silver Arrows could be keeping their options open should Appen decide it's time for a change of scenery. "I thought you'd probably try and put me on the spot with something like that, Martin," Lord said. And even though he didn't directly respond to the Verstappen suggestion, Lord went on to say, "We're under no rush. We manage George's career as well as being the team that he drives for at the moment, but we know there's no pressure. He's fully focused on how do we perform in this triple header, how do we keep the car moving forward. Then, at the right time, he and Toto will sit down, and as they always say, it doesn't take terribly long to thrash these things out. That hasn't happened yet, but certainly will in the, weeks and months ahead. All that said, George Russell might want to think twice before committing to Mercedes because if there's one name that changes everything, it's Adrian Newey. His arrival has sparked nothing short of a seismic shift within Aston Martin, creating a ripple effect no one saw coming, a surge of engineers and personnel now desperate to join the green revolution. That's according to former F1 driver and current Aston Martin ambassador Pedro de la Rosa, who described the transformation as tremendous since Newey officially joined the fold in March. After his high-profile departure from Red Bull, Newey, whose car designs have played a role in an astonishing 26 World Championship titles, signed on with Aston Martin as their newly appointed managing technical partner. He also took a stake in the team as a shareholder, making it clear he's in it for the long haul. Newey's mission is to lead the technical charge into Formula One's new era in 2026, when a fresh set of chassis and engine regulations comes into play, and when Aston Martin switches to Honda power. Fittingly, he made his first race appearance with the team at the Monaco Grand Prix. In a chat with Soy Motor, De La Rosa revealed that when he became Aston Martin's ambassador back in 2022, signing New wasn't even on the radar, mainly because he wasn't available at the time. But since that blockbuster deal came through in 2024, De La Rosa says Aston Martin has rapidly become the destination team in the paddock. As it turns out, bringing Newey on board delivered a hidden bonus, an influx of talent the team hadn't even planned for. The change is tremendous. He said since the announcement that Newey was coming to us, there has been a total change. More people want to come and work at Aston Martin from all the teams, and especially from the universities. It's something no one realized could happen. But it is happening because young engineers want to work with the big names to learn more quickly. In England, there is a spectacular market for engineers. Because within a radius of 100 kilometers, there are practically all the teams in the world. Attracting talent is very important, and having Adrian has an effective attraction of inspiration to the new generations. To all those engineers who want to be Formula One engineers and who want to work with Newey to learn from him. That's something that sometimes you don't value. We always look at Adrian Newey as the figure who makes winning cars. But for us, it's very important. The new generation of Neweys who want to work with him, because they will be the future of Aston Martin. Sometimes we focus on the big names, but teams win for everything for the big names, but also for unsung heroes who will one day fill that role. The most beautiful thing about Aston Martin is to see the internal transformation that is happening, the growth. We were about 600 people when I joined, and now we are more than 900 people. So, if you were in Russell's racing boots, would you stay loyal to Mercedes or take a leap into Aston Martin's ambitious new era? Let me hear from you in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching.